Welcome to the Reality Check Rando segment. Now, October 5th, 2017. Of course, once again, our prayers go out to everybody in Las Vegas, every person and every family affected throughout the world. But we definitely want to talk about some common sense Vegas, as I'd like to call it. Now, there's obviously reports of did he have this connection, did he have that connection, or whatnot. But the one thing that's really just simple common sense that we need to look at, besides, people are calling saying there were multiple shooters. It's hard. There's so much going on. There's so much confusion. Things ricocheting everywhere. It's hard to really tell. Bullets could bounce off something and it looks like it's coming from the other way. It's just so much chaos, obviously. But one just common sense thing was Mr. Paddock's girlfriend, right? We all know her from the Philippines, right? Mary Lou Danley, age 62. Now, just the interesting thing is she lived with him in a house and she had no idea. She's saying that's the story we have. Okay, sometimes it happens. People live separate lives for people that are married to somebody else and somebody doesn't know. Okay, viable. But the one thing that's gotta trouble everybody is just very simple things. That her sister was saying she didn't even know she was going to the Philippines until Paddock said, I found a cheap ticket to the Philippines. And everyone's like, well, what's wrong with that? He's finding a discounted ticket. Here's a guy who's a millionaire who playing $100 a hand video poker, spending money on hotel rooms he doesn't even show up for. Why do you think he would care about finding a cheap ticket to the Philippines? If he wants her to go to the Philippines, he's going to buy a ticket. So that right there, if you're hearing that and you're her, you have to think, red flag right there. Like, why would he care it's a cheap ticket to the Philippines? Like, if he wants me to go, he'd buy me a ticket. So, but going back to her, she's not an honest person, obviously. So how can we trust it? You say, Mary Lou, how could you say she's not honest? Well, so far the research has shown that she had multiple social security numbers. The research has shown she was married to two guys at once. So obviously her credibility is not very good. Okay, it doesn't make her guilty, but when she's telling us stuff, do we tend to believe it? Probably not, especially when this guy's telling you about a cheap airline ticket when he doesn't care about the price of it's going to be nothing to him. Millionaire, right? And then when you get him sending you, it was approximately $127,000 he sent to the Philippines. So here he goes. He sends you on vacation because he's saving a few bucks on the plane ticket, but then he's going to send you $127,000 to tell you go buy a home. Why would she be buying a home there? Is she going to live there? So then her reasoning that she's been saying is, well, I think he wanted to break up with me. So if someone wants to break up with you, you're not married. He's going to send you $127,000 until you buy a house somewhere else. It's not very likely at all. It's actually pretty ridiculous. And we could only hope as people one day, not to make light of it, but one day we can always hope to have somebody that goes out with us and says, you know what, I'm done. Here's money. Go buy a house somewhere else. Yeah, it's not a likely thing. So with the lack of credibility from her, and obviously this nonsense that they're trying to tell you saving money on a plane ticket and giving her that much money, she had to know something was up. And just because she was bought a plane ticket doesn't mean she has to take. I don't know. If my wife decided to buy me a plane ticket, yeah, we want you. Here's a plane ticket for New Jersey. I found it cheap. Why don't you just go there by yourself? I would find that awfully strange. And chances are I wouldn't go because I'd be like, it's kind of weird. That's just me. I use my common sense. So common sense Vegas, it's just doesn't add up the story. And I'm sure we'll find out more. I'm sure. And you've seen the narrative when she came back. All of a sudden, she came back in a wheelchair. Quite interesting. Is she trying to set up this defense like, woe is me, I'm elderly, I'm almost done with life. You can't, it would be a crime to put me in jail for anything, because you see that common in a lot of things, A lot of things say where they're letting people go because they're fragile or the health is bad. Or if you give this 80-year-old rob somebody a 5-year sentence, that could be a death sentence. You know what? You commit the crime, do the time. But for Mary Lou and Paddock, doesn't add up. They're definitely going to find out somebody helped them out. Whether they helped them out a little or a lot, there's somebody who knows. And right now, they're not talking. That's it for today's rando segment of the Reality Check. Make sure you join us where we do Facebook Live. And we're on the radio on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX in Phoenix every Tuesday night, Arizona time, 9 p.m. Thanks.